Hello, everyone. We are episode 62. And on episode 62, I don't have David with me. I have other balenistas famous on the IoT Happy Hour. And two special guests today, because today we're going to talk about Edge Impulse for Linux. And Edge Impulse for, running on Linux, on Balena, actually. And how easy is to use Balena and Edge Impulse together for a lot of things. Today we are going to see tons of projects actually running on Edge Impulse for Linux on Balena. So I think it's going to be fun. Sorry for being late, but we have been doing a lot of things on background, trying to build a lot of projects for this episode, as I told you. But first of all, before getting into that, let's do a brief introduction of everyone. Maybe Alan, you are very famous here. Maybe you can.
Sure. Yes. Great to be back on the IoT Happy Hour. I'm Alan, one of the hardware hackers here at Balena. So I make a lot of projects, show a lot of demos of the Balena platform.
Cool. And we have two special guests. One is his first time here, and the other one, it's his second time on the stream. Maybe Arijit, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing good. Happy to be here. So, I'm Arijit, 15-year-old from India, hacking on AIoT-based things, AI and IoT.
Awesome. And you are Edge Impulse ambassador?
Sure.
Cool. Nice. Looking forward to see more projects that you have been doing. Mithun, how are you doing? We saw you on episode 40, if I'm not wrong, like 22 episodes ago.
Yeah.
How are
Hi,
you going?
everyone. Everything is good. And I'm so excited to be here one more time. And my name is Mithun Das. I'm a software engineer by profession and hacker and maker by passion. And today I'll try to demonstrate something using Edge Impulse and Balena. I'm not pretty sure whether that will be a smooth sailing, but we'll try our best to showcase.
We have been working, all this week trying to have something super special up and running. But we were talking, we were late some minutes, and we were talking that sometimes the project, don't work at on the deadline. So this is maybe one of the cases, or maybe not. Maybe on live we can make it run. Who knows? Let's see.
Stay tuned.
The demo goes. Today we don't have David with his new elephant, so probably things can be better than ever. 2 episodes ago, if you didn't watch, I failed completely to build Grafana on the things stack gateway. So what worse could happen live? What else? So what we are gonna talk today? We're gonna talk about Edge Impulse. If you don't know Edge Impulse is like a machine learning system or a solution for embedded devices, but as well for single board computers since some month ago. This is why they released this Edge Impulse for Linux, compatible, if I'm not wrong, with Raspberry Pi, NVIDIA Jetsons, and Intel for Mac, if I'm not wrong. So maybe, I didn't mention that Mithun is as well Edge Impulse ambassador and Balena ambassador. So if you want to make a brief introduction of Edge Impulse, that's cool.
Arijit, absolutely. So Arijit, if you want, you can go first. You have been working on Edge Impulse for a long time.
Thanks. So, I would like to say that Edge Impulse is the end-to-end machine learning developer platform. Like from the steps of data collection up to training, then even deployment, you can do it in a very quick amount of steps and by consuming a very less amount of time on it. And it has support. It had been having support for embedded devices since a good amount of time. And recently, about 1 or 2 months ago, it announced the release for Edge Impulse Linux SDK, which enables you to run Edge Impulse on top of single board computers as Mark has told, Raspberry Pi, then there are NVIDIA Jetsons and more of them.
The funny thing for this episode is that if you're running an Edge Impulse on an Arduino, wait till the end of the episode because we're going to show you a surprise. Okay, Arduino cannot run Balena OS on it because it doesn't support Linux operating system, but we can show you something very special to run on these edge impulse with Arduino. Maybe it's time to start doing the couple of sections that I love to do. One, it's that we like to tell to our community that Balena is hiring, actually. And maybe if you are looking for a job, or you have friends who are looking for a job, and you like IoT and fleet management, etc., maybe, Balena, it's a nice place. Let me share my screen, because we have some open positions. Let me change the icon. So they didn't change the last week, but we have several positions, like a fleet reliability engineer. So you will develop products or learn about the requirements from customers to help them to reduce the friction to manage their fleets of devices. There is the full stack engineer. This position actually it's as a developer for an internal tools that we have at Balena, at the product OS. So if you want to, if you want to help us on improving how Balenistas work at Balena, this is a great position, actually. We are looking for 2 customer success members, one based in Europe, Middle East, Africa time zone, and another in America time zone. We are looking for 2 site reliability engineers as well, European time zone and America time zone. And finally, this position that it's open since 5 years ago, that it's design your own role, that we take very seriously. Actually, last episode, there was Tomas here who actually joined Balena because he applied as design your own role. I don't know, Alan, if you apply using design your own role, Balena.
No, actually, that's a great role and a great way to apply, but I did actually apply for the hardware hacker position.
Okay. So at that time, there were hardware hacker open positions. But if you're a hardware hacker, why not?
Absolutely.
You can design your own role.
Sure.
So maybe next let's jump. We are going a bit fast because we have a lot of things to show you. So maybe it's time to jump into our icebreaker section, that it's what's on your desk. I'm very excited to see what's on Mithun's and Arijit's desk. But before that, we need to introduce the section with our jingle, sing by Chris, unless any of you wants to sing the song. No?
Nobody can beat Chris.
Not good at singing.
All right. So Chris, please help us.
What's on your desk?
All right. So who's first today? Who wants to be first?
I can go first. So a couple of things.
All yours.
So, okay. So I have been working on few things, though nothing is finished yet. Like everything is work in progress. And so one thing I was working is basically Tesla dashboard. So you see, like this is what I'm working on. So Tesla is all digital thing, and it does not have any old-fashioned dashboards. And a lot of people actually like that, though I'm not a big fan of that. But I thought, okay, that could be a good hack to create a dash, and if you want, you can put it on your car. So it's just work in progress. I got the data streaming up, though it's not working right now. I don't know what's going on. But the idea is to hook up with cellular data, because in the car you usually don't have Wi-Fi. So I'll work on that, and then you can just mount on your car, and then you can see all the dashboard kind of thing, like your speed and remaining battery life and all those things. So that was one thing. Sorry?
What data are you visualizing on the dashboard, or what data are you collecting the data from the car, from the?
Data from the car. So basically the idea is I'm using another open source version, like a Tesla JS. So they have some API written, and you can actually stream the vehicle data, like a speed and remaining battery life and all those things. So,
wow, super cool. So you have a Tesla, or should Elon Musk send you one?
No, actually I do have one.
Okay. we have to mention, Alan, to Balena, that if we have to test this project, because this is running Balena, right?
Yep, it is.
So to test this project, maybe we need a Tesla, right?
Yeah, I can't think of any other way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Arijit, you want to? Well, I don't know if you want to show something else, Mithun.
No, that's it.
Okay, so this is a really cool personal project, actually. Mithun, you want to go next?
You mean Arijit?
Hi, sorry. Yeah, Arijit. Yeah.
Yeah, surely. So this is a very small thing. I will just put in super in front of you. Focus it.
What is that?
So this is actually called as FOMO, which is an FPGA, USB based FPGA. Like this is this small size, and you can then put it onto your USB port into your, let's say, the laptop or your computer in which you are working on. And this actually has a complete eFPGA inside of it. This is a small size, and it
Wow.
can fit on top of your, like, let's say, the palm or even like the finger. And like it has the entire SDKs and all those library supports for let's say what you run inside of a big FPGA in just that small little size, but it can run as well. And one most important thing of it is that it runs on RISC-V.
Wow. And what plans do you have for this?
Yeah, so I'm not an FPGA expert as that of now, and I believe this can be a good segment to like experiment on and hack on to FPGA sort of things.
Oh, cool. Nice. What else is on your desk?
Next up is also a small little microcontroller, and this is the one which comes. This hasn't been released yet, I guess. Like this was sent from Espressif as part of their uh, beta program for this
Mhm.
board, and this is an ESP32C3. So this is like the next generation of ESP32 boards, and this has an inbuilt uh, RISC-V core inside of it. On top of which, there are also possible chances that you can even run VisiBox Linux on top of it. There are some people who have experimented it, and they have been able to run on Linux on top of this small MCUs.
Wow.
Cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
What else?
So next up are some small things. Yeah, like, there are 4 to 5 things on my desk, and I will not be taking too much amount of time. But next up is this board, which comes from Sony, and
Oh,
this
nice.
has been announced. Edgepulse has announced support for this, like I would say, a week or 2 weeks ago. And this is the Sony board, the Sony's presence, and like it has, I believe it has 6 cores of Cortex M4F, and like you can run entire amount of image classification models inside of this board.
But
Because
can
this
you
has,
show again? Because this looks like it has the Arduino form factor on the Arduino pins, or
yeah, like this is a Arduino Uno based form factor. So this
okay.
board right here, the one which comes with the SD card, and this one is the extension board, and on top of it is the main code board, which is kind of like the Arduino Nano based form factor. And it also has like cameras and accelerometer sensors which you can attach on top of it, and like you can program it accordingly.
Oh, really cool. What else?
Yep, that was actually the most
Don't keep anything.
interesting things from my desk.
Okay. I just mentioned on the chat, if you have something to, let us know on the chat what's on your desk. Okay, as well. So feel free to let us know. During a lot of weeks, we had Arijit not saying on the chat what was on his desk. So good to have you finally here. I have something on my desk, but I will keep it for next week. That we will have David here, so we will be able to have fun about his soldering skills. So maybe I'm gonna jump to Alan gonna skip and let's see what's on Alan's desk or office,
yes.
because I see some traffic. Yeah, I see that the traffic light again. I don't know if IoT is here.
Yeah, it's all powered up and ready to go. I think this is the first happy hour where nobody has hit it so far, but we'll see. There's still time.
But let us know the URL to test it. Can you share it?
URL. I will have to dig that up, but it's the same URL it's been for like a year. It's out there. It's out there in the world.
It's out there.
Yes.
let me check my.
So we'll see who has it. But
I'm not sure I have it.
As far as what's on your desk, I'm going to keep it simple this week, and really fast. I just have this mundane new webcam. It's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. This is the box. Look, it's a mini unboxing video right before your eyes there. So it's what they call like a gooseneck flexible.
Oh, very beautiful.
You just plug it in and into your USB port, and it shows up as a camera. There's no drivers or anything special to it. The neat thing is it has this sliding double lens. So if you
we cannot see. Yeah, now maybe better.
See a little better. So if you slide this over, you get macro, and if you slide it in the middle, it becomes a cover to give you like privacy if you want. And it has buttons here. One flips the image like 180 degrees, and the other one turns on a little LED for extra light and illumination. So I'm actually going to show this off possibly if we have time in a demo later for something that is appropriate to what we're doing. But for now, this is the actual camera itself. Just a cool, flexible camera. I think it's about $25, 1080.
Okay.
So nice utility camera. You can never have enough webcams around, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not too short, or well, you have to move the device, right?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to plug it right. You can plug it into a Pi, which is great, and it just shows up as like dev.
I got use of this Sony camera that has like a long cable, so
yeah.
and I think that's it's very nice to have a long cable, but yeah.
It is nice, but this is meant to just stick somewhere wherever you need a camera, and it's great for demos too. I think if you wanted to just put this on the desk,
that's right.
Demo underneath it, it's nice for that. But I'm going to power this up, and we'll use this perhaps later if there's time.
Yeah, looking forward to see what we can see with this. We have someone that has a Wio terminal and a Sony Sense. This is the one that you have, Arijit? The same one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the same one.
Nice. Something else that you want to show, Alan, on your desk, or we will go to your other desk in a bit? So
yeah, I think I'll stop there. Otherwise, this could go on for a while. Plus, I don't have anything as interesting as what we've seen so far this week on my desk. So I'll just...
I don't trust you, but I cannot believe that you don't have anything else interesting. But yeah, let's jump into the let's jump into the topic. So let's talk maybe about Balena, the Edge Impulse for Linux. So what's new on that? Maybe I don't know if you want to talk about what's new on the Edge Impulse for Linux. What are the difference? Because I think it was episode 23. We had Edge Impulse here on the IoT Happy Hour, and we were showing examples of differentiating between beers and coffee. Or I made an example of detecting if socks were paired or not, and we were using so when you run a machine learning model on Edge Impulse, you can compile it, or I don't know how is it called, the exact operation, on a wasm file. But now there is no need to do that. Maybe we can jump into, I don't know, Arijit, if you can show us Edge Impulse and show us the difference now. If you want to run Edge Impulse for Linux, how different is this from now or before? What do you think?
Just a second.
Oh, we see. Yeah, we see. Well, before that, let's get. Well, meanwhile, you can do that. David is saying that he has a Raspberry Pi with Balena OS linked to Balena Cloud and a home assistant. So this is important. So don't wait till the end of the episode because we are going to show you something super fun, David. And someone is saying if you, Alan, can share the product. So the webcam link that you show.
Yeah, get that.
Or you share it on the private chat and I put it on the chat, or up to you.
I will do that. Chat. There you go. This is just one place.
Cool. Yeah.
You can get that.
It's at the fruit school. So it's here. Okay. Sorry, Jit. Do you think you can share, or if not, I can do it myself if you want.
Let me know if you can get to see my screen.
No, I don't see your. Yes, I see it. Sorry, it was on a bit high. Yeah, super.
All right, so when you head on to Docs Edge Impulse documentation site, you get to see a page specifically made for Edge Impulse for Linux SDK. And under the Edge Impulse for Linux, what you can get to see is that you can directly connect your Raspberry Pi or over here the NVIDIA Jetson, also even the Intel-based Mac OS machines. So you will not have to do like the previous the thing that was being done by Mark and Aureline. They developed another project similar to this, but we didn't have the Linux SDK support at that time. So what they did is that they took the WebAssembly file that comes from Edge Impulse Studio deployment page, and then they ran that on top of the Raspberry Pi. But in over here, with the help of Edge Impulse for Linux SDK, you can directly connect your Raspberry Pi or your Jetson and can retype the data, which is the imagery data, or even in some cases like the audio data, and you can then send it to Edge Impulse Studio. You can then train up the model and then export it. But in the export page, you will not have to do either of the, like, let's see, the C++ export or the WebAssembly export. Instead, there will be a page called as for TensorRT export, which is for the NVIDIA Jetson Nano, because for the CUDA to run, it uses NVIDIA's own library, which is TensorRT. You can either extract that, or else there are even options for Linux boards, for example, the Raspberry Pi. And if you click on that, it will then download the edgeimpulse.ein models onto your Raspberry Pi or the single board computer that you're having. And you can easily run them and like access them using the public IP that they're having. Plus, with the help of the Edge Impulse Linux SDK, you can even run your the entire model in Node.js, in Python, even in Golang, and also in C++. And these are specifically made for focusing towards the single board computers, not for the embedded devices. For example, the Arduino and the rest that we have seen throughout. And that is the main difference between like Edge Impulse for Linux SDK and the normal SDK that we use.
And you built a project, right, using the Edge Impulse for Linux? Actually, let me share on the chat that you work on a project that is on Hackster, because one of the differences as well that I think Edge Impulse launched with the Edge Impulse for Linux is this object detection, right?
Yes.
So it's possible to do object detection as well on Edge Impulse. So I share this Hackster link on the chat, where you can see how easy it's to run this Edge Impulse for Linux on Balena and do object detection, and it's super fast. You're gonna see that it's super fast. On the other hand, it's heavy. It's a really heavy service, to be honest, but it is really interesting. I don't know if you can show an example, because my Pi is just dying, and I was preparing the demo and I couldn't show it, but maybe if you have something up and running, that's very good.
So I developed a project about 2 months ago, in which with the help of balena and edge impulse we can classify and detect pneumonia from X-rays, and like it can be used by anyone in like almost most of the places. So for this example, we will not be using the WebAssembly file that I had used previously for developing the project, but instead we will be using the this new one, this new project that we had developed on, with the help of which you can get the Linux SDK, HMPOS Linux SDK to run on Balena, and which then runs on top of the Balena-based devices such as the Raspberry Pi and other single-board computers. So here are the full instructions for it. Like we have done a hashtag project in which we have seen about the various different kind of single board computers in which you can run on, and some steps that was being said by Mithun on how you can like get the API key, because the board, the single board computer, which then runs Balena, will take the API key, and then the API key will then access to the HMPulse project, which is there on the HMPulse Studio. And from then on, it will take the HMPulse.ein model and run it, which we can access locally. So we have a complete instruction based on top of this, and like you can see even that we will have to put our API key in over here, and for the Egypt's collection mode, it's called 0 for running the inference, and I believe it was 1 for data collection.
Exactly. So you can retrain your model, right? Just changing one variable on Balena Cloud. You can start collecting extra, in case of images, if you have a camera, you can retrain your device, not your device, your machine learning model in a really simple way. That's something really interesting as well on machine learning or HML devices, right? Where sometimes it's hard to retrain the models.
Yeah, like data collection is one of those important steps which really takes up a lot of time for building real world machine learning prototypes. So, for an example to this, I created, I just ran this one, which is the main GitHub repository that we have, on which like you can run.
I'm gonna share this repo as well.
On Balena.
Let me share this repo URL on the chat. Give me a second. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So it has been some smaller information on about the hardware that we have used and the software deployments. And over here you can see that when it runs, it sees like HMPulse Linux, and it runs on top of it. So we have both the Docker files on top of which the Balena OS runs onto your single board computer, and these are specifically like running the basic requirements, because if you head on to the HMPulse for Linux, this page, you can see that there is a specific page made for running EI SDK on Raspberry Pi. And if you click on that, you can see that there are some dependencies that are being required for running HMPulse based Linux SDK. So the Docker file with will then install all these dependencies and like extract all of these, and then it will set up the boot to finally boot and install HMPulse Linux, and then on it will connect it either using, if you want for data collection, or if you want for like running the inference of your HMPulse Studio project. So in over here, I just click on that, click on this GitHub repository. There is this big deploy with Balena button, and if you click on that, it will head over to the Balena Cloud dashboard page, and you can just like drag and drop and choose whatever device you want to run this on. So I've created this one, this application, and for the example, I've used a Raspberry Pi 4 based device. So it has installed and downloaded both of the containers the Edge Impulse interface, and even for the Wi-Fi connect that was being added by Mithun. And so what you can do is that you get the local IP address in over here, and for the Edge Impulse Linux SDK to access the live web page, because when the EI SDK runs for an inference-based purpose, it then gives you the entire web dashboard to a local web URL address that I've seen earlier. And if you click on that, you can like access the local web URL that you're in. So this was the local web URL for my device.
We have to say that your project pneumonia classifier, it's not a medical application. It's just for demo purposes, right? Just to demonstrate that, that if you classify, if you train a machine learning model, so you can do whatever you like. But this is not a medical application. And we didn't pray enough to the gods of the demos, right?
Maybe it may be like that.
No problem.
Not with me.
Maybe maybe meanwhile you solve this, Arijit, Mithun we can explain what we have been working this week and we struggled with during this week. What do you think? So actually I said in the introduction that on episode 40, Mithun came to the IoT Happy Hour to show that he built a project that was able to, sorry, Arijit, I can, that was able to classify birds by image or sound. And actually, he even built a 3D printed bird feeder, etc. And it was really cool. So what we have been trying to do this week is to move these projects from, it was running a wasm file, so to running from wasm file to Edge Impulse for Linux. But we have been struggling a bit. Maybe, we can talk about this, even if it's not running, but that should be okay. But we can talk about the situation of the project, and what we would like to do, and then we can introduce what's the future of HML on Balena, if you like, Nathan.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So as Mark was saying, a couple of months back, I guess, we developed that bird feeder, our bird watcher project. And that was using image classification using WebAssembly file. And then we thought, okay, now we have Linux SDK for Edge Impulse, and we already did some POC as Arijit was showing. Like we can integrate both the two things, like Balena and Edge Impulse. And now we were thinking, okay, let's take it further and change our bird feeder project or enhance that bird feeder project from image classification to object detection. So that's what we have been trying to do. And kind of we are in the middle. So whatever Arijit told you, it was using Edge Impulse Runner. So that's basically come out of the box. You don't need to intercept any images or anything. It just works. And what we are trying to do here is basically trying to intercept that object detection and send Telegram notification so that whenever there is a bird in front of your camera, it will not only just detect and show on your browser, but at the same time, it can send some notifications. So for that, instead of using out of the box Linux, Edge Impulse Linux runner, we are using Edge Impulse Python SDK, and then we're running our Edge Impulse runner from inside that, and we're whenever we're detecting any object, then we're basically calling the Telegram. So let me quickly show you. I'm trying to share my screen.
How is it going, Arijit? Did you solve the issue of the stream on your browser? Yeah, should I share your screen?
Seems like it worked. Let me recheck once if that works.
Okay.
Can you guys
We
see
see
my
that
screen?
that you are uncertain or a virus.
Yeah, it cannot classify me. All right, and I'm going to be putting this in front of.
Okay, so here you have an X-ray on your computer, right?
Yep, and this is a real X-ray. This is a printout of the X-ray that you get from a medical hospital, or let's say other medical places.
And how did you train these models? So you took like a lot of pictures from a public database, or how? Maybe that's as well interesting.
Yep,
If anyone
and
is thinking like, wow, this is super hard to do, how can I do it?
yeah, like so we have collected some data sets from. Let me open this, guys.
From kaggle.com? Okay.
So Paul Mooney, and he's one of the contributors towards this chest X-ray images, pneumonia-based chest X-ray images data set in our Kaggle, and like he has tons of data sets of the bacterial and viral and even in normal pneumonia-based cases. So it is a big file, around like 1 GB, and it has around, I would say, 6,000 files of both the testing and the training images. So we took that data set, and we then put on to the HMP Studio, the data acquisition page, and we have trained up the model accordingly. So it has about 1,200 images of viral pneumonia.
So it looks like the 30%, no? You have like 3 groups, same amount of images?
Yeah, like we will have to, we need to have the viral pneumonia, then there's the bacterial, and even there are some cases in which the patient is not affected by pneumonia. So for that, we have to take a normal based situation. The person is not affected from pneumonia.
Okay.
So we had
and if you go to live classification, that this is my favorite part of Edge Impulse, can you see like this 3D model? It's the clusters are correct, or but it's on live classification, or maybe I'm wrong. It's not here. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you create a machine learning model on Edge Impulse, it's really cool because they have a visualization and you can see the clusters. And you can see if how good is your model or not, with a really nice visualization.
I'm not sure why this one crashed. Maybe the demo gods are not with us today.
Yeah, maybe we need the David's elephant. Who knows? Maybe it's time to talk, Alan, about how do we think at Balena that we can. So the Methon's project actually runs automatically on the project that we shared before on GitHub, and it's on Hackster as well explained. So you only create your model as Arishit is showing right now, and with the API key, you just put it on Balena Cloud, and it automatically works. Look at this. Yeah, this is the chart that I was mentioning before.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
That looks
a lot of
like a really bad lung, actually. But I know that's not what it is.
But yeah, you can see the clusters now with this 3D.
Yeah, it's a great representation.
Yeah, so the green one are mainly for the normal use cases, like the person is not having pneumonia, and like the red ones are for actually they are for the viral, and the yellow ones are for the bacterial based pneumonia.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Pretty cool. So actually, on the Edge Impulse for Linux, we so Edge Impulse is doing a lot of things to help developers to detect the cameras and microphones, etc. But Alan, maybe it's your turn to as well talk about how at Balena we are thinking that we can help people and developers who want to run on the next Edge ML projects.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're seeing machine learning moving to the edge, and balena reduces friction for fleet owners. So by extension, we're also reducing friction for doing ML at the edge. And we have a few examples of that. One is like demos like we're doing today, examples. We have blog posts, and we have repos and projects. And would you like me to just briefly show the capture and streaming at this point?
Sure. Should I share your screen?
You can share this. Well, here, let me first show this.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Go ahead. Wait a second. That I will zoom on you.
Then we'll go right into the screen. But this is just a Pi 3 B plus with the camera that I showed off earlier. I just plugged it in and powered this up. And then, yeah, Mark, if you want to go to the screen share. And this is running something that we call the capture and streaming blocks. These are two new blocks that are under development. They're working. These are prototypes. They haven't quite been polished up yet, but these are blocks, and they work together. The capture block takes the output of a camera and creates an RTSP stream. Then the video streaming block takes RTSP stream and creates a WebRTC. And these two work together. All you have to do is put them into your project, and it will do all of the behind-the-scenes work of finding the camera and creating the WebRTC. And it uses two blocks. Both of these blocks use pre-made code that we have also added to make the setup really easy. So really quickly, let me just take this IP address of this device, put it into the browser. You could also use the public URL for this if you wanted to. And just like that, it finds the camera, and here we go. We're just looking at something.
Wow.
Let me push that flip button that they have here. It just keep flipping.
Oh, nice.
But the point of this is that all I did was plug the camera in, and everything else kind of happened like magic. You can see it uses this project called WebRTC Streamer, and we've added some items to that. The next version of balenaCam will be based off of this as well, and that's coming soon. But as far as the ML aspect of it, we have also a processing block that sits between the two blocks that we showed, the capture and streaming. Oops, this one right here. And for an ML project, the processing block allows you to intercept that feed and overlay perhaps machine learning detections or inferences, boxes over detected items, classifications, anything you want to superimpose over that stream, you could do through the processing block. So you'll be seeing more of that in the future, but that's just one example of how we're reducing that friction for ML on the edge.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's a very good demo. And using the what's on your desk tools. Huh?
Yes, tied them together.
Very cool. And I don't know, Mithun, if you wanted to say something or.
Yeah, so what I was saying, like that project we have been working on, like I can try to demo it. I cannot guarantee it will work like 100%, but at least I can show you what we're trying to achieve and what are the things probably you can enhance in future or use in your project. So as I was saying, let me start sharing my screen and then I can talk more about it.
Okay. And Alan, maybe meanwhile Mithun is sharing his screen, if you want to change your table for the next Edge Impulse demo,
Sure.
No, maybe it's a good idea
Do you want
to
me
do it now.
Do you want me to start with what I've done here in Edge Impulse?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, don't show it. Don't. Let's not spoiler the audience.
Okay. So we one of the items we talked about here is Edge Impulse for Linux, but there's also Edge Impulse supports
Wait a sec.
the many microcontrollers. And this is the Arduino Nano BLE 33 cents which is one of the supported devices on Edge Impulse. So fully supported. This has an accelerometer on it. And Edge Impulse has a great example project. They have links to it where you can use the accelerometer to do vibration detection and anomalies in that. So I just stuck this on my heating air conditioning system on the side of it. I think actually you have a shot of that too. But I just stuck that on the end, and then I went into data acquisition, and I trained a model on the 4 different modes of operation. And you can see it's kind of subtle, but like if you look at the startup, it's very different than when it's actually running. So when the system first starts up, it has this very distinct vibration, and then once it starts running, the vibration is different. And when it's idle, of course, there's not much, and there's also one other state here. But anyway, I use the classifier, and I have that same visual that we were looking at earlier. So here are my different
nice
clusters, and so you want to get the clusters to be separated. So some of my clusters were so similar that I just combined them together. So I only have the 3 modes of operation of my system, and plus idle. So when it's idle, that's this over here. And then for deployment, I deployed it as the Arduino, and I uploaded it to the device. And so you're saying, so how does that relate to Balena? Well, this is called the BLE because it has Bluetooth Low Energy, and you can program it. I modified what was downloaded and modified the Edge Impulse example to transmit 2 pieces of information from this device. Let me go in here to this one. I call it BLE to MQTT because when the system detects a vibration on the air conditioner that is abnormal, I would like to know about it and also put that into my Home Assistant dashboard. So what it is doing, and where did all this data go?
Maybe you have two dashboards open and one is interfering the other logs.
Let's close this up then.
Yeah.
Well, here's the Home Assistant dashboard, and you can see I have a place for vibration anomaly here. This obviously is a lot of parameters about my home system, but we're not sure where the data went on any of this. I think my dashboard needs to
try to refresh. Yeah,
I'm just going to do a quick refresh here. I think that's probably. Let's see. Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
it just needed a little refresh. Feel better about that.
Oh my god!
So
what an episode!
So what you're looking at here is I created a container, and we'll post this so people can use it. But basically, it reads the BLE data. It's coming from this address is the nano sense that I have attached to my air conditioner, and it's just taking 2 pieces of information and converting them to an MQTT stream that anything could read. One of them is whether the system is detecting an anomaly, and that's false right now. And the other one is a number referring to the 4 different classes that I'm referring on the device. So let me quickly turn on my air conditioner. I'm going to use the remote here to turn on.
You can do it from here.
Yeah, I'm going to at least turn it on. I can't make it go into anomaly mode, but I can at least turn it on here. So
that would be bizarre that you can run it on anomaly mode.
So I'm going to use my phone.
Okay, so just to explain here, so you have an Arduino. Maybe later we can go to your basement, virtually speaking, but you have an Arduino IDE attached to your HVAC device.
Yep.
Detecting, so with the accelerometer is detecting vibration. There is an Edge Impulse machine learning model running on this Arduino. And it's sending the data over Bluetooth. And you have a Balena gateway with Bluetooth. With a Pi 4, I can imagine.
It is actually I just used a Pi 3 because since it's not running the model, it's not actually running anything really Edge Impulse wise. All the Edge Impulse is running on the Arduino, so you can use a very low powered device running Balena OS, and I'm able to go into, if I go here and I say, oops, I want to go into device variables. The beauty is I can just tell my Balena device what is the address of the BLE device, what's the UUID, what MQTT. I can do it all from here, so I could read different Arduinos if I wanted to. And that device could even probably be a Pi 0. You notice I also threw a sensor on there because, of course, I want to know the temperature as well. Why not? I would throw a sensor on every project. That's my recommendation. So, if you have a, like a BME 680 attached. Anyway, I'm going to turn this on, and we'll see that the detections will start. It'll start detecting some class other than 0, which is idle. So here's the air conditioner. Setting it to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. We can see when it turns on by looking at the HVAC compressor run here. So as soon as that turns green, it means that the compressor is turned on the HVAC. It does take a few seconds until the thermostat recognizes that it needs to turn on, and then it has to turn on the HVAC system. So it should just take a few more seconds, and we'll see the compressor running. Once the compressor is running, we'll switch over and look at the detections that it's getting from the inferences that it's running on the edge impulse model on Arduino. Okay, so the compressor's gone on. So if we look at this, and there's a little lag here, but you can see, okay, now it's changed from, now it's showing an anomaly. Here's what it looks like, one anomaly. And that's just a momentary anomaly because there's so many different types of vibrations in the transition from one to another. So it's gone to 3, which is startup. That's the correct vibration. It's detecting that the compressor is started up, which is that very distinct resonance on the system. And in a few seconds, you'll see it go from 3 to probably 1 or 2. This usually lasts for about a minute. But we need these detections to know whether there's an anomaly. And if we go back into Edge Impulse briefly, the anomalies are, as I understand it, and of course, I'm not a machine learning expert. I think our other guests would be able to tell more, but the anomalies are when these dots, it's the distance from a known area, right? The anomalies are how far is this dot out into an area that we don't know. And if that's over a certain level, I just have it changing this value to true and then lighting up this right here. So basically that's it. I don't think I'll even need to go downstairs and tap on it because we kind of saw what an anomaly looks like here.
Yeah, it looks like, you turn on green one check. It's incredible how just to put on green a check box, all the over engineering things that you have to do, right? To just change the color of something, that people don't realize that just to change the color of something on their mobile phone, maybe there is like it's tons of things.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, it's a lot of systems, but the nice thing is they're all mostly black boxes that you can just control from one to the other. And part of that's Edge Impulse, part of that's Balena, part of that's Home Assistant, but there are all these pieces that are available that you can just have it cascade all the way through. So that's pretty much it.
That's really cool, Alan. Thank you very much for setting up this demo to show that, even if you have an Edge Impulse Arduino device, we can help you to visualize data in a really fancy way. And it's that simple. I don't know if this BLE to MQTT code is somewhere available on the Playground repo. So
I'll put it in probably the examples. I just need to clean it up a little bit. This is very, very new. So, but we'll definitely get that out.
Raj. If anyone wants to play with it, just browse us on forums.balena.io. Just let us know, hey, I just watched this on the IoT Happy Hour. I would like to run it at home. So I will ping Alan to say, hey, Alan, you have someone who wants to test your code. But
absolutely.
This is super cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Milton, I have as well the Bird Watcher running, but let me show you what you have. What do you have? I'm sharing your screen, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so this is the project we have been talking about, and you can see I have running two different blocks here, or like a services. One is AI processing and another is Telegram. So Telegram is a separate service or block which are used to send Telegram notification. And in the code, let me.
We don't see
It's so
anything.
slow. Yeah, it's super slow. Like I can't even
What are you
open
trying to
my.
open?
Yeah,
The
I'm
code.
trying to show my yeah Xcode like code.
Uh-huh.
If you see, like it's hanging over there.
Not sure.
Yeah,
Maybe meanwhile I can share my screen. It doesn't have Telegram. Yeah, sorry, this is my wall. But just to show you that, yeah, like how fast. Well, yeah, I'm hacking now the system. It detects that my hand is a blue jay bird, but how fast it is, right? And how it can detect multiple objects, right? In this case, are birds, and my hand it's not a bird. But yeah, how fast it is now. Yeah, how can multiple objects can be detected? Um, so the goal of Methan's projects right now, it's to yeah, every time that we get this, yeah, when I was doing this with the hand, no, every time that we were getting like a detection from the edge impulse new model, yeah, send a message to Telegram service. We
right,
see
exactly.
your yeah, we see your code now.
Yeah. So this is what we are using. So this is Edge Impulse SDK written in Python. So you can actually use that SDK and run your object detection. And then the cool thing is that the classifier actually returns you the feed, so you can do anything you want with the feed. So for example, I'm sending a notification to Telegram here. So I have the image feed and then I'm sending it to Telegram so that I can get a notification. And at the same time, I am also streaming that back to a browser so that you have the live feed as well as all the interception, and you can do really whatever you want. So just an example, like we are using Telegram, but you can do anything like Twilio or anything. And then you have um, this web page. So where you are actually seeing the live feed. So for example, I'm trying to bring one.
Whether you're gonna bring blue jay or a cardinal or
Yeah,
oh,
cardinal. Yeah.
nice. Let's see if it's detected. Don't be shy, cardinal. Okay,
Yes.
looks like there is
Yeah. Looks like
a
something happened.
yeah.
And let me see if I have. Yeah. So you're seeing.
Oh, nice. It
Yeah.
works.
It works.
So we see
Finally.
that, yeah, the Telegram bot, yeah, detects, yeah, receives the image detected. So it's really cool. Well, we saw on your code, no, that you were sending on localhost over port 30,000.
Right.
Well, I imagine that on the well, I think well, I checked your Telegram service. On this container, you're running an Express server, right, with
Yeah.
different endpoints, and when it send
Right.
image, and you were just sending, yeah, calling send image every time that you detect these. This is
Right.
super cool. We made it live, eh? Literally.
Yeah. Finally. Yeah. So happy.
That was really cool. All right, I think we covered all the topics that I wanted to talk about. I think we cover. Yeah, let me change. Sorry, it wants me a bit the logo. Let me put it on the left. I think on this episode we cover yeah, what's Edge Impulse for Linux, and how Edge Impulse for Linux is running on Balena. We show, yeah, the example that we set up like some weeks ago, Method and Arijit, on how running this Edge Impulse runner or classifier on Balena in a really simple way, and just clicking deploy with Balena and changing the API key and what mode you want to run the project as a variable on Balena Cloud. It works, and this is super cool. And then we expanded this using the SDK, as Nathan showed a second ago, detecting iterating his bird project that was running before on Balena with wasm files, now with Edge Impulse for Balena for Linux or for Balena SDK. And as well, Alan made a super cool project for people. As Edge Impulse was designed for microcontrollers, and a lot of people on Edge Impulse has microcontrollers. Sometimes it's hard to visualize the data from those microcontrollers. So how to get benefit from Balena to expose this data somewhere else, and he showed how to have like an Arduino sending data from the accelerometer over Bluetooth to a Pi 3 gateway with Bluetooth to MQTT to his home assistant at home. But I'm sure that we can run as well the classical connector block with InfluxDB and Grafana, on the same Pi 3, for example, and get the data over Bluetooth, send it to the connector block that it's a telegraph, and then visualize it on the dashboard block that it's Grafana. I'm sure that that's as well doable. So I think we cover a lot today, and a lot of things develop live here during the episode. What else? What do you think it's going to be the Edge ML in the future? Meton, Arijit, Alan?
That's a good question. I think we see where it's headed so far. I mean, it's amazing how far we've gotten already, right? So I can't imagine what it will be like in the future. But there's a lot you can do on the edge now. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Actually, I challenge. Let me explain this. It's not secret, but I challenge Arijit on running something special, and maybe Edge Impulse folks can help here. But I would love to see, like on an NVIDIA Jetson, an Edge Impulse machine learning model running on CPU, and when something is detected, trigger maybe the CUDA model, machine learning model running on GPU to extract other insights from that, when an anomaly is detected or something like that. That would be a super cool project as well to run on Balena for next episodes. So if anyone from the audience or anyone from the community wants to help us on that, ping us, let us know. Ping us on the forums at balena.io, and I'm looking forward to see that. What else? Something else you want to mention? No questions, I guess. I don't know if people just is on Edge Impulse creating the models, so there are no questions, or. But yeah, looks like everything was great. Let's mention just for a second that Balena is hiring. So if you want to work at Balena with us and be part of the IoT Happy Hour, we have some open positions. We have a fleet reliability engineer to help our customers on reduce friction to manage their fleets of devices. We are looking for a full stack engineer to help us on the internal products that we run on Balena that are super amazing. One day we should devote an IoT Happy Hour episode to talk about what we are running internally, right, Alan? I don't know if 1 hour is enough, but we are looking for a customer success in European time zone or Middle East time zone and America time zone site reliability engineer to help us to have everything up and running, full steam power, as well European and America time zones. And if anything of these just match what you do, you can just design your own role. So it's a 5-year-old opportunity, and we take it very seriously. So feel free to apply here as well. And I think that's all. Next week, we will be here with David, hopefully, if he wants to return from his short holidays. And we will have last episode of this season, and we will take a break for summer, like during August, to prepare with a lot of energy next third season of IoT Happy Hour from September. And we will have Balena ambassadors here showing their personal summer projects. So I would not miss that, Alan, on Metal and RG, because that will be super fun to see a bunch of people here showing what they are hacking about.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
All right. So have a good weekend and see you next week. All right.
Nice.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.